with these terrible and real and ongoing terrorist attack, it's important that the people caught up in them, not of their own doing or anything, just involved. It's important they get compensated, in some manner, way, shape, or form. And you got these GoFundMe pages, and they can be okay. Someone there's got himself $10,000, and here's someone else. They've actually gone quite okay. But with all these GoFundMe pages, though, they're a bit random, a bit haphazard. It's sort of these victims, these unintended people involved in these terror attacks, particularly the sort of people on the ground, sort of milling around, and those that are helping, those that are victims. It's important that and those witnesses, that's traumatic for them. So these GoFundMe pages can help. But what you really need is you need a baseline of funding. And in Australia, when you're inside the country, there's certainly victims' compensation payments that you can certainly apply for. And sure, some people been compensated that way. Even special funds like the one for Jimmy Gargasolis, where it happened on the Friday, and by the Monday, the public servants working over the weekend at lightning speed at a $240 million compensation war chest ready to go. And it's important, as demonstrated down there, that there's a lot of money made available for the people involved in these events. But what's the compensation situation if a terrorist event happens outside and you're caught up in it? You're sort of doing stuff, you're witnessing it, you're helping out, or maybe you're a victim. And there's no compensation for you except for your GoFundMe, which is discovered as haphazard. Well, fortunately, the Australian government has the Australian Victim of Terrorism Overseas Payment. Now, the government draws up a list of declared terrorist acts. So they're only acts that are recognised, that, the government the media are fully reporting on. They're all on the scene, all at the same time. It's almost as if they had a kind of prior warning. It all kind of, fills up with trucks and everything to block vision very fast. As well as reporters are down there on the scene straight away. Someone sort of pointed out with that London Bridge attack. But anyway, declared terrorist acts. And we've got a list there. We've got London, Manchester, Nice, Barcelona. They've got the whole gamut. They do have a expiry date, and once below, they're finished with. But, there's still quite a few going. A couple of classifications of victims. You've certainly got the primary victim. That's the person who was harmed as a direct result of the terrorist act. It's got a few criteria down here. Following factors are taken into account for determining a primary victim claim: the nature of the injury, of course, the impact of the injury on the person's life, whether the person failed to take reasonable steps to avoid harm or recklessly when the terrorist. Why would that matter? I mean, yeah, if you're a bit reckless, sorry, mate, yeah, you don't get it. I mean, it's a terror attack, for God's sake, isn't it? Just, mayhem, and, it might be tempted to run recklessly anyway. But I think they might be a bit concerned that, unintended people might, insert themselves in there. Say one of us who's a bit clued up, here's a commotion, rather than go in the opposite direction. We know what's going on. Try get on this compo act. Well, you can't, because they'll say that you were reckless and you inserted yourself. That's what that might be there for. I'm not too sure, but quite interesting. So whether there was travel advice, yep. Whether the person was directed by an official from see if a cop tells you to go in the opposite direction and you ignore them, then you're there. See, that's how they keep, non-participants. Sorry, I mean, limit the amount of people that are involved in this as terror events as much as they possibly can. And another category of victim is the secondary victim. Secondary victim is a close family member of a person who died as a result. Yeah, see, you need the families to, compensate for their unfortunate involvement in these terrible events. Eligible close family members may share a payment up to, yep. If we invite a potential secondary victim, I mean, why would there be an invitation process? Wouldn't you just either be a close family member or not? It's like they get to choose, So, and what, without being invited, can you approach them uninvited, or you got to wait for them to say, you feel grief stricken? Oh, I got to wait for them. Seems to have an inordinate control over, who's entitled to payment and who isn't. It's almost as if they know in advance, but they wouldn't, because this is all real. It's a bit unusual. Doesn't seem to apply, but it's got the following factors may be taken into account. And the bottom one is whether the close family member failed to take reasonable steps to avoid harm or acted recklessly when a terrorist act occurred. So, I don't know, if you're a close family member and, someone's died and you're grief stricken, you're affected and you get compo, you're not there, how could you avoid harm? I suppose you could act recklessly, but that'd be like in your own home. Seems to me like this little clause here might be a bit of a, safety precaution, just to keep it all in-house. So we've got the primary and the secondary. Now we've just got, might be just generally eligible. It says you may be eligible if you were an Australian citizen on the day declared, yeah. Close family members not involved in the commission of a declared. Okay. If you didn't do it yourself, okay. That's fair enough. You wouldn't want someone, committing a terrorist attack getting maybe some compo, would you? Know how to do that. Anyway, we're in the place and we're harmed as a direct result of a declared overseas. So you're in the place. Or a close family member of a person who was in the place and died as a result. Okay, well, that's the secondary one. Seems where they expand on that in the place. So, for the purpose of this payment, in the place of declared terrorist attack overseas occurred means you were in close proximity to the place where the terrorist act occurred and witness the terrorist act firsthand. So that's all those poor people that you see on TV. I guess the Gene Rosens, although he's not Australian. But those Aussie, witnesses that they might happen to be there that they speak to, they can get paid. I mean, sorry, compensated through this much needed scheme for, terrorist events outside of Australia where they need to splash a bit of cash about just to make sure everyone's looked after. That's all they're doing. And, obviously the emergency services, they're all paid for in their jobs, but you have a lot of people just help holding up umbrellas, just sort of milling around, just, maybe helping out with a bit of security, just controlling the situation. But also, got down there in the second bottom paragraph, people who went to the place where the terrorist attack occurred immediately following the act to assist. See, are you okay, mate? Yep, I've assisted. And you're in the place for the purposes of this payment. This would include arriving at the scene before the victims before they all moved on. See, so no one else can turn up later on and go, oh, I was there. No, they'd already been moved. It's only certain people are getting this payment. Certain select people whose, GoFundMe page might not have, been enough for the trauma that they suffered. There's government payment there to, add surety, just a real base level of payment for all the people involved. And look, I'm just glad that it's there. Just to finish off, here's a bit about claiming now. If you see one of them there expired on the 5th of July, I actually started this video a while ago. It's one of those ones that I've just gotten around to finishing off. But yeah, they're certainly locked down how this compo works, and that we invite them, declare terrorist act, all these sort of criteria. Because I always thought, if I heard a commotion, just have some blood packs on me, at all times. Just sort of run to the scene against the cops, pretend you're confused, pretend you're hysterical, you don't know what's going on, get to the scene, splash some blood on you, tear up your pants, you don't have to rip yourself to shreds or anything, a bit of blood there, and, lay down, oh, yeah, injured, and hopefully, in all the commotion, some of the, people already there might not recognise you. I think, oh yeah, well, let's tend to him. They get to the blood packs. Oh yeah, he seems legit. Get on the bus, like Ollie never go show a picture of him getting on the bus back to the rendezvous point. Get back. They were looking at you. You at rehearsal? Yeah. Oh, you're not on any list. Oh, just put me down. I'll get a bit of money. They look at you and go, ooh, fuck, yeah, he's onto it. All right. He knows what he wants. Let's just pay him off. Because actually, in all seriousness, if you did happen to get your camera out, because there's been a bit of footage that was released at Manchester, I'm sure, a camera shot that UK Critical Thinker alluded to that wasn't meant to be out there, and you got something that showed beyond any doubt that it was staged, yeah, I reckon they probably wouldn't want to pay you out. They'd probably do something else you tried to, you know, lay it all out there. I think it'd be a very dangerous game to play. All right. Okay, that's it for this one.